Okay, so you're wondering how to be an ascended spiritual person without going through psychosis. So, one thing about when you are tuned in, you see the frequencies, you see repeating numbers, you see things getting said on TV that you say. You dream of things and then it pops up. You think of someone and they pop up. You manifest in ways that feel like almost unholy. So yeah, this you clicked on the right video, man, and you tuned in at the right time because like when I tell you this shit, bro, you can easily get into psychosis if you don't know how to maintain your shit. So let's go into the emotional depth of what it takes to be a spiritual or conscious person, because this community now has been infiltrated. I mean, it's been infiltrated from the beginning, but it got really heavy, like probably after COVID. I mean, even within the 70s, like there's so much history about the conscious community, and now it's like very popular to talk about astrology. It's popular to talk about angel numbers. Like all those things are normal, but like we don't talk about the earth. We don't talk about the layers of what this takes, this journey of being a conscious, enlightened person in a world full of people who don't give a fuck. So you care enough because your soul cares enough and you knew that this shit was jacked, something was fucked. So as someone who's aware of that, the best thing you can do is understand that you ain't different from nobody else. Don't allow your ego or allow the egos of others put you in positions that you didn't fucking earn. I don't know what to tell you, but what I do know when it comes to those positions that you didn't earn is based on, did you do the groundwork? The groundwork isn't just meditation and watching and learning about new things. Of course, that's a layer to it, but the groundwork is a consistency. It's the belief system. It's when things come and try and fuck with your energy, how do you respond? It's about saying, hey, I have a vision for this world. I have something to give and I want to give. Because as a spiritual person, you gotta give. The spirituality shit, man, that pops is because there's something they are given. The world gives to each other, even in death. Our bodies provide nutrients for some entity, some sort of insect, birds, vultures. We are given even in death. So one thing you need to be clear about is that has to be the baseline. If you don't have those baselines in check, you are going to struggle. You're going to be broke. You're going to suffer like in many different ways because you didn't have that baseline. So yes, the baseline is learn the new things, learn about yourself, you're processing, woohoo, you welcome to stage 1. But once you get past that stage, it is what do you want to do here? How can you provide some degree of impact and value? Don't let the spiritual shit fool you and think that all you have to do is think, all you got to do is blink. Even when it comes to being intuitive, it requires you to consistently practice. It requires you to build the muscle of trust in yourself. You have to build the muscle of trust. If you're incapable of doing that, you are going to struggle and stay broke, and you're going to be one of those Looney Tunes who end up being homeless or who end up just leeching off people and then say you're powerful and then you fall. We've seen a lot of like spiritualists fall because the power gets to their head and they don't realize that, bitch, you're not different from no one else. The only difference is that you have a soul and your soul is yours. But everything else that you feel like isn't, people aren't woke enough or people aren't smart enough, there are people who will understand you. Maybe not everyone, but you will be understood. So don't convince yourself that, no, it's just me. The fact that this video is on your page, it's popped up on your timeline, the fact that you're even listening to this shit right now lets you know that there is alignment, lets you know that you can have the community, you can have the connections, and I do this because community looks different for everyone else. What you might need of value could be separate, but the baseline is we energetically want similar things for this world and for ourselves, and we will align and make things happen to get that. When there's more than one person, you can make things happen. Okay, so don't let anyone fool you to be like, you need to self-isolate to high levels to the point where you're just going to assume that that people are out to get you. Because I got to that point. I was in a relationship that I thought was like destined because of the fucking psychosis. I was sitting here feeling weird up and down. I was unclear about what I needed to do for myself and what I needed from that relationship, to the point where I just felt like this doesn't make sense. And then I blew it all through being unfaithful. And the fact that that was what I was capable of doing while I was ascended let me know I wasn't ascended. I descended into my fucking ego. And that led to me destroying a relationship and also causing harm to somebody that I did care about. And that isn't the way to go. So that's why you look at people who make it. You look at people and think, how the fuck do they act that way? Because some degree that shit is psychosis. They get to a point where they're so much in a high horse that they don't feel like they're capable of doing wrong. And luckily for spirits like you and me, when we do wrong, we actually fucking listen. We actually take a step back. So after that situation, I had to take a step back and be like, holy shit, what have I done with my life? And a lot of my life has been pulled into, I was in school at the time, and then it turned into fucking dreaming all the time. I spent years in the astral, man. Just every other day I was having dreams back to back. I was trying to understand what my psychology was, trying to understand the shit that people won't tell you about, which is what happens in your internal world. So once that was realized, I was like, shit, man, it's time to go. So I started a business, had that pop for a bit, and then I'm like, okay, the shit descended. What's the work that I'm willing to do? And I realized, holy shit, I need capital. So here I am building my capital, which is using my capabilities and expressing it to the internet and allowing people who didn't have the awareness or perspectives to see that there's someone else who can. I'm not above nobody. I just know that I'd spent all these years learning about myself in ways that most people don't have time. Some people don't have the luxury of time. They are in survival mode. They're constantly around kids. They're constantly around their spouses who they aren't in alignment with. They're in jobs. There's a plane going past. They're in career paths that aren't in alignment. So of course, what time do you even have to dissect your dreams in levels and layers that most people aren't? That's the blessing I took from the pain of years of pain and confusion, years of my ego being bodged down and punched and pulled apart. That's what I'm here to tell you guys. You don't need to take that path, catch that shit before it gets too far, because now I'm in a position where I have to start from scratch just because I wasn't capable of getting past my own ego and wasn't capable of pretty much going into psychosis. But the thing is, when you first start this journey of consciousness, it is a way where you get a minute form of it. You get so excited, you get elevated, you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I can see this. I can think this. I'm telepathic. Like, you be going through this shit like, damn, I'm on this shit. Watching lectures, like seeing like, damn, like no wonder everything's set up the way it is. Like, this shit is occultic. So of course you're going to get hype. Of course you're going to feel connected. Of course you're going to feel like everyone who ain't on that time is stupid, or some people get on that time. There's actually many people who have gone on that time, but they realize that there's more to life than that. There's more to life than the conspiracies or even the power of yourself. The power of yourself is to say, I can do what I need to do while I'm alive. That's all. That's all there is. There isn't this, I know this knowledge, I'm aware. Okay, you know the knowledge. What are you doing about it? If you know all this shit and there's actually not any processes or systems in place, you are just talking shit and you're just in psychosis. I'm not here to tell you who you need to be. I'm not here to tell you who you are. That's for you to do. But what I can tell you is, don't follow the path I took. I'm taking the right one now, And maybe it has been to some degree helpful, but I could have easily cut that time down by years. It didn't have to take me years to get here. So maybe if you're going through that shit now, let it take you a year. Let you give yourself a year to have expertise on yourself without all the extra distractions, if you are able to. And if you're not able to, then great thing, you now can focus your energy in how can you utilize your time, how can you get more time, because like they say, time is money. That's the true level of wealth, is how can your time be utilized, in what way can you utilize it, you know what I'm saying? That's real. That's the spiritual work, not whatever the fuck everyone's telling you to care about. I'm telling you, yes, there's points of time where you can be intuitive, read people's minds, but you have to build the muscle. Is this way of being going to put you in a position to not worry about how you make make ends meet? How you're going to eat? How you're going to survive? If you're going to go into the shit, man, you need to figure out a way on how can you be okay focusing and channeling on this. If it's just to be a conspiracy theorist person, then you're going to have to do a lot of research. You're going to have to do a lot of studying. Are you willing to put that time in and put it out to the internet so people can learn, who people can be educated? Are you willing to put out that energy and say, hey, I want to be supported by my passions and gifts. I want to be able to do this and do it fully. Don't half-ass this shit. Half-assing it is what leads you to psychosis. It leads you to think you're beyond the program. See, you have your own program to make. You have a program to follow, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be a human. You have to shit. You have to take a shower. You have to eat. You have to clear your mind. That's a program. That's a literal inherited program that comes with being alive. If you want to be trim or shapely, whatever the case is, physically, you get into fitness. You don't just bypass that. You eat cleaner. Like, you don't bypass the shit. This is why, like, there's spiritualists who do have a lot of health issues, because they feel like, well, I can supersede all this shit. And yeah, there's some degree where you can, but things catch up, and you can delude yourselves into ways that you can't come back from. So my point is, get your shit together. Understand, if you're even watching this video, you might be on the brink. There's a lot of noise coming out of nowhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just might be at your last leg and you're like, holy shit, something feels off, but I don't know what it is. So that's why this video is here for you, so that you can start dissecting what the fuck the issue is. So you can start understanding that it takes groundwork. I'm now understanding that. I'm now like getting out of my phase of being snapping all day, tuning in ways that isn't helpful long term. I channel, like, this shit, this is the shit that I fucking do, is channel. I'm capable, because in the astral, I was so many different people, I was seeing so many different things, and that shit was real shit. That's why I'm like, you're probably a channeler too, if you're even on this video. We don't even have a place for us. Like, a lot of the times it's just people giving it to you, but we don't have a collective place. We just fucking go through weird shit in our brain, and then we have to figure out where to step to. You don't have to do that, man. You don't have to do that. Now that more of us got to post, more of us got to be out here, because that's why there's people who have hundreds of thousands of followers scamming the fuck out of people. More people who are real and who understand. Step up. But stepping up does look like being consistent. It does look like doing shit that you don't always want to do. Like, that is a very real reality. So don't let people convince you that you're crazy, that there's no way that you can sustain yourself, that you do have to grind. Or don't even let people tell you that being spiritual, a true virtue of spirituality, is being poor. Don't ever let people convince you of that shit. That's another way that they get Christians and Muslims, where people are suffering day-to-day poverty, barely making anything, but still giving money to the church. And those church people are eating and they're still fucking struggling, and they have to wait until death to win. You can win while you're alive, and you can win in death too. But the point is, right, we need to start stepping into our authorities and working with it, not just feeling it and saying ha 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 like it's a drug, because your power can feel like a drug. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't let people do that to you. Don't let yourself do that to you. Make you feel like you're on some shit that you're not. You really have to connect. You really have to tune in and be real about the work that you're not doing, and really be honest about the life you want to cultivate. Do you just want to get high off the fact that you know things, or do you want to be paid to have your time? Do you want your time to be efficient while you're here, to be joyful, to be connected? And that takes effort and takes energy. It doesn't just say I'm this so I'll be. Yes, you have that. You have that more than what another average person has. You're already starting off incredibly well. So where is the excuse to not get shit popping for yourself, other than I'm this great person and I'm so woke and no one knows shit? Don't let people do that to you.